Shalom, Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Ruach Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about these false pastors being revealed as frauds. But before we get into this, let's go and read this scripture. This is Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And in this pastor's case, there's no breath in him, literally. Right? You see, the Lord right now, believe it or not, is going around and he's revealing a lot of false holy men, right? You're seeing it happen here in the Israelite, sector, I guess you'd call it, right? And also within the surrounding schools of doctrine, right? You just recently had the IUIC visited, you had the Sakari camp visited by the Lord, right? And show how much of a reprobates they are. You had that demon Polite just revealed for being a child molester, right? And you have this man here, right? There's it says Zambian pastor James Sakala is dead after being buried alive. Okay? And this, it tells you here, it says from Venice News, it says a pastor named James Sakala from Zambia was buried alive by his church members as he promised them that he will resurrect in 3 days, just like Jesus Christ. The pastor, who commands a huge congregation, chest thumped that he has supernatural powers to keep him alive for 3 days, right? And you see, the Lord visited this man, right, for being a false prophet, man. What did the Lord say, man? If a prophet speaketh a thing and if it comes not to pass, the Lord deceived that prophet, right? And that's ultimately what happened to this, false Zambian pastor, man. Now, this man, he may have been an Israelite, but he may have been of the lineage of the Israelites, but more than likely he was a Hamite, right? Because over there, when you get into these, African, Christian churches, man, they're a big spectacle of folly, right? They go off of a paganistic Christian doctrine, right? They still call upon the false name of the Messiah as Jesus Christ, which is a false name, right? That goes back to a man that lived during the 1400s, an Edomite on top of that, and the name itself goes back to the time of the Romans, man, in the Council of Nicaea, when the name Iesus was created, man. Right? These people have no understanding, man, and they are basically practicing what is so-called religion, right? It is a man-made doctrine that has been created to replace the heritage of the true Israelites, who today predominantly are the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, right? And anybody whose father's lineage goes back to that bloodline. Now, within this Zimbabwe church, I'm sure you're going to find Israelites, right? It tells you in Revelations that there's going to be a multitude, all nations of all tongues and people who appear to be as other nations, who are ultimately going to be Israelites, man. Right? So you're going to have a lot of Israelites that are going to look like Hamites, right? The true Africans, right? But ultimately, right now, you're not going to be able to tell that, until, we're at that point, man, where the Lord's going to separate the Israelites from the heathen, right? From the wheat and the tares, right? This is told about in that parable if you want to look into it. Now, like it tells you here in Jeremiah 23:1, It says, woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock, and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. And that's ultimately what the Lord did to this man, man. He visited evil upon this man's doings, man. Thinking he was able to replicate the miracle of Yahweh Shai, right, by being resurrected in 3 days. That's saying that he had supernatural powers, right? See, this man here obviously was a false Messiah, man, right? And his actions, where the Lord has taken him out, proves it, right? And like I said, there are more likely Israelites within his congregation, and this is why the Lord jacked this guy up, because he was ultimately misleading the Lord's flock, right? Now these Israelites that are within this church are going to have a chance to now look for new counsel, new spiritual leadership. And, you know, Lord will, if they are of the elect, they'll find the apostles of Great Millstone. They'll find the videos that we're putting up on the internet, because Great Millstone is worldwide, right? This is why that prophecy tells you that, you know, that when this truth, the truth of the Bible that is taught or is preached into the four corners of the earth, then shall these miseries start, right? And that's ultimately what's happened, man. This truth has gone around the world, right? And it hasn't been done by the apostles jumping on planes and going to different countries. No, man. It's all been done through the power of the unicorn, which today is referred to as the internet, right? But in the Bible, it was called the net, right? Casting your net into the earth, right? It tells you that that the unicorn would spread this truth, right? But these people, especially this pastor, doesn't know this, man. And why is that? Well, let's read. It's Jeremiah 3:15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass, when ye have multiplied and increased in the land, in those days, saith Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall they that be done anymore. So you see that? So we're no longer, reverencing the Ark of the Covenant, man, right? We are now, focusing on the new Ark of the Covenant, which would be the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, right? He is that new, Ark of the Covenant, per se, right? Right? Because he is the mediator between us and the Lord, and he was the sacrifice, the perfect sacrifice for the new covenant that's coming to play, right? And these Zambians, they don't know this, man, because you see, that man that was given to them, he wasn't a pastor of the Lord, right? Because he wasn't according to the Lord's heart. He wasn't teaching the truth of the Bible. He wasn't teaching about the 12 tribes of Israel, right? He definitely wasn't calling upon the name of the Lord. And you could just only imagine all the other false doctrines that these, Canaanite, African Christian pastors push, man. Right? They're out there talking about their farts are holy, man. These people are fucking disgusting, man. Right? And they profane the word. But again, in this particular case, the Lord wasn't having it, man, and put that Hamite to death. Kahalaya Bashem Yahshai. This is Ezekiel 44:23. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. And in controversy they shall stand in judgment, and they shall judge it according to my judgments. And they shall keep my laws and my statutes in all mine assemblies, and they shall hallow my Sabbaths. Right? You see that? And that's what we're doing here, man. Us prophets and teachers of Great Millstone, starting with Apostle Tahar on down. We are here to teach you what the Bible is actually telling you, man. We're here to teach you what the judgments of the holy book are actually saying, right? And we're showing you that preachers like this, man, that do stuff like this, that put on gimmicks to get fame and to get some sort of reverence, that's just profane. It's unholy, unclean, right? This is not to be done, man. If you have a pastor out there pretending to do miracles and pretending to do things like this, that is not what the Bible has said was our job, man. The Great Commission is to go out and to preach the gospel, right? To preach the truth of the Bible and to call back the Israelites, the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, and all those whose father's lineage goes back to that bloodline, back to the Lord, back to the truth of the Bible, right? To explain to them what the true gospel is, right? It isn't our job to go up there and try to bury ourselves for 3 days so that we could show people that we could do it, right? But again, I just, saw this, clip, and I thought it was hilarious, right? The Lord is visiting these pastors, man, and it's very obvious, man. The Lord is getting tired of these false pastors, these antichrists out there, trying to say that the Lord has sent them, and He has not, right? So, with all that, Akim, I just want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Pakudash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.